Welcome everybody to another video by Sander for the YouTube channel Sander Over, and today we are going to talk about something completely else than what I normally do. I do talk about it when I open some booster boxes. However, I think this deserves a little bit more of an attention. Sorry, I still have a cold. It's not really pleasant, but okay. Anyway, we're going to be talking about, well, of course, you got Dominaria United right here. That's coming out in a few weeks. September 1st on Arena, September 9th or 8th, 9th, I believe, it's the release date of the paper product, which will be a pretty big one, because I have a feeling that a lot of people do want the product right now. I do want to tell you guys, though, don't forget that normally the set that comes out in September is the core set. Remember last year when we had Adventure of Forgotten Realms? Well, that one sucked, or at least everybody hated it, and I still don't know really don't know why, though, because it's still, I think, a pretty good set with a lot of good cards, especially for Commander and other formats maybe than Standard, but still that set is actually pretty good. So what are we stuck with right now? Well, let's just go over it. And first of all, the set that everybody hates, Midnight Hunt. Let's do a grid view here. This is, by the way, on Card Market, so everybody can, you can take a look at it by yourself if you want to. So yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Meat Hook Massacre is like the best card in the whole set. It is, and the price says the same thing. It's over 50 euros for a card. It says here 38, but when you click on it, it starts to go up at 44.50, as you can see right here, and it just keeps going up pretty quickly. So you got a 4 of, which is nice, but still 190 euros for 4 cards. Yeah, that's still quite a lot of money. Maybe also, let me just, hold on, let me fix something here because you guys can't see everything. This is maybe better. Yeah, let's do it like this. Okay, so we got Haunted Ridge, very good card. It doesn't come into play tap when you got 2 lands out, so don't forget that. And it's it's not a pain land, which are coming. Oh man, my throat, really? Okay, Ren and 7. Ren and 7 is a really popular card, of course. Hold on, I gotta do something about my throat. And we're back. All right, maybe it's a little bit better. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I shouldn't scream so much. That might work. Ren and 7. Ren and 7 is a really cool card, let's be honest. I mean, it generates a big-ass token, and you can get lands with it. You put stuff in your graveyard, yeah, it's a pretty good card, especially for a Reanimator deck, maybe, I don't know. Could be good. Arlen's a very good card, too. And we got a Deserted Beach, Lear. Yes, Lear is a good card. And it combines very good with a card that'll come up in a minute. But Adelaine is a very popular card in the white decks. Yeah, do we need to go down further? I mean, with Teferi, we got more of the dual lands that are out there. Bloodthirsty Adversary. Don't forget that one. That's still very popular, and it runs in pretty much every Boros deck. So it has haste, and I've seen a couple of haste cards in the new Dominaria United set, so they might replace those that are gone. So why does everybody hate this set? I don't know. I honestly don't know. This set, Midnight Hunt, I think, is certainly better than Forgotten Realms. Let's be honest. And it has a lot of good cards in it. A lot of cards that are being played as well. Now, when we move on to the next set, Crimson Vow. Well, Crimson Vow is maybe not as good. But, well, the Cultivator Colossus right here, this card, is maybe... I'm going to make myself even smaller, people. I know you guys don't, you know, really care about my face anyway. But I'm going to keep it right here. Okay. Cultivator Colossus. Very popular in Commander. I mean, let's be honest. It is very, very strong. So, if you guys don't know, here, let me click on it. Maybe you can read it. The power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. So if you got like a, I don't know, a 45, 50 land commander deck, or maybe even more, like, I don't know, 70, this'll just, I mean, it has trample. So if you can give it like hexproof or indestructible, it's just a one-hit killer. So, yeah. But in Standard, nobody plays that card because it takes way too long, even though it's a 7-drop, which we're going to be coming up to another card later on. I think it was a New Capenna, or we're going to see it. Then we got Chandra, Dress to Kill. It's a popular card, but it's not being played a lot, but the art is cool. And we got another land, dual land, with Sorin. Sorin is being played a lot in the mono black decks. With, by the way, Toxrill is a popular commander card as well. When that thing comes onto the battlefield, things start to corrode. Yeah, things are gonna die. Hallowed Haunting, that was like in every enchantment deck. And Ava Brooke the Caretaker is in a lot of commander stuff. Necro Duality, yeah. Zombie decks, hello. So yeah, this set has a lot of good cards, but they're not being played as much. They're very specific for a certain deck. You know, I mean, you're gonna Toxrill. I mean, if you have it as a commander, well, then it's mono black, of course. But if you got it in the 1 of 99, there's not a lot of synergy. So you might want to build a deck around Toxrill itself. So have some ramp and, you know, try to get it out there as quickly as you can. By the way, if somebody does play this card in Standard, everybody is just. Well, almost everybody is almost instant quitting. So that's one thing. Unless you can kill it or get rid of it, exile it. Yeah, there are some good cards, and of course the lands. Don't forget about the lands. The next lands that are in Dominaria are pain lands. Every time you tap them for mana or colored mana or yeah. You're going to get hit by one. So that might be very painful. Let's not forget about that. And by the way, also, this card right here, Hullbreaker Horror, is like the, well, biggest blue card. Not the best, but the biggest blue card out there. And once this hits the battlefield, it is very hard to beat. If the opponent has got some backups with simple 1 or 2 drop spells, you know, it just, you can't do anything about it. And Voice of the Blessed, that's being played in a lot of white decks with life gain. I mean, it's still popularity has run backward, or has, you know, gone backwards, and like at the turn of 2021 to 2022, when before Kamigawa came out, this was a popular card. It ran with a lot of lifelink decks. So this set is not all too bad, right? Now, the next one. By the way, if you like this and you listen to this and you're like, hey, you know, this guy is telling me stuff I already know, but I really enjoy it, please leave a like and a comment. Maybe subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I would really appreciate it. It would help me out a lot. And by the way, I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, so let's not forget that. 1,000 subscribers means a free booster box for somebody who is subscribed to my channel and subscribed to my Facebook page. Keep that in mind. If you do not subscribe to my Facebook page, I will not be able to contact you. It's very simple. It's just like that. So, I mean, there could be other ways, but then you have to drop me an email saying that you were the one that won. But no, that's not going to work. Okay, that's just not going to work. I need some way to communicate, and I think Facebook, which a lot of Magic players use, is a way to contact me or you. Just join the group. I don't do anything, no commercials, no nothing on it. Just, you know, saying when I have maybe if I have a new video out, but most of the times it's just to be able to communicate with the people that have subscribed to my channel. So yeah, keep that in mind. 1,000 subscribers. If you're subscribed and to the Facebook page, you can win. Anywhere in the world, I'll send it. I don't care if I have to pay like $100 to send it out. You'll get it, okay? All right, let's continue on to the set that has been selling like, I don't know, hotcakes the last few weeks. It's insane. I have one left there, right there. One set box, and I think I have a bundle left or something. I'm completely out. Also, the wholesaler, the distributors have dried up. At least the ones with a decent price. I mean, I'm not going to pay like premium for it just to get a few boxes. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it. Too bad. Sold out. On to the next one. Dominaria. But this set. This set has a lot of good cards. Like, a ton. Wandering Emperor. Played so much. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. It's in every deck that has red in it. Boseiju to just start destroying lands. You know, Adawara. You know, phase them out, right? Or no, return target creature. No, the March is the one that phases it out. Which, by the way, the Marchers are also in this deck. See, here's March of Otherworldly Light. A Ganju, you got it, you know, deals 4 damage. Jingataxis, you know, 420, 69, 169, 420, something like that. Yeah. This is one of those cards that you're like, in Commander, you're like, nope. If this comes out, you cannot cast anything because in Commander you only have one of each spell, but it does trigger only once per turn, so you just need to trigger it with something small and then something that you really want to cast, you know, use it. But yeah, let's just not look at this card. And then we got Kaido, Farewell, the Takenuma. This does not see much play, but it could be good, I think. Yeah, and then we're moving down the line. We got the Spirit Dragons. We got Tezzeret. We got another, you know, Sokenzan. This is not played very much, but, you know, in a pinch. There's so many cards in this deck that are good, or in this set that are good. But let's not forget. These are the sets. These are the sets that are going to be in Standard. So you have to start playing with these cards. Now, let's do the most expensive first, because most of the times those are the cards that are being played the most. We have, in Streets of New Capenna, we got the Ledger Shredder. Yeah, think about it for a second. It's that Connive card with, by the way, all the Tri-lands. Yeah, I'm skipping Ob Nixilis. Why? Because this is an obnoxious card. It is overrated. It is easily killed nowadays. Everybody's prepared for it. People take hits for it. They don't care. Just take 2 life. I don't care. By the way, this one is not seeing a lot of play in Standard, which is kind of weird because it is high up in the rankings. But we got Rafine here. Rafine sees a lot of play. And that goes for, here it is. Here's the other 7-drop I was talking about. We had the Cultivator Colossus here. But then we have the Titan of Industry right here. It's also a 7-drop. Now, you do get a lot of stuff with this. I mean, you can pick 2 of them. Shield counter, destroy a target artifact, 5 life, or a Rhino, I believe. Yeah. Create a 4/4 Rhino with, I think it has trample. It's a good card. It's a good card, but it's also a mythic, so that's maybe why. Arcane Bombardment, you know, that sees play, so there's some good stuff in this set. But, and here comes the little crux. Is this set better than Midnight Hunt or Crimson Vow? I don't really believe so. It's a good set, but it's not necessarily better than any of the other sets. But the other sets came out in an era of the end of 2021 where everybody was thinking the whole world is going to shit and it's just over and we're done for, and this game is going to go to 0. Nobody's going to play it anymore. How do I put it? No, that's not what's happening. You have to realize these are the sets you're going to have to be playing with for the next 3 months. When the Brothers War, I believe is coming out. Also, by the way, that Warhammer Commander set that's coming out in October. Man, I've been reading up on that stuff, and it looks like it's a pretty good set, and it's selling. The pre-orders are rolling in. That stuff, that's a good set. Let's just put it that way. But this also brings me to the last set that we have, and that is the Dominaria United set, the singles. And let's do a grid view, because we all know that it's all about the Liliana. And that's also what the price tells you. I know it says here 42 euros. Let's click on it. Because if you look at it from... oh, wait. It's actually 42.64. Okay. This is the normal version. This is not the, fancy one. And then we got another black card, the Shield Dread, the Apocalypse. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Oh, it's been a long day. When you draw a card, you gain 2 life. So every time when it's your turn, you gain 2 life. And when an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. So this is a good commander card. It is. And you can make with a good combo with a couple of Ob Nixilises with make the opponent draw a card, or use one of the opponent or one of the card draw cards in Commander. I'm talking about Commander. There's a lot of cards that'll make your opponent draw a lot of cards, so just make them draw 20 cards and they're dead. Simple as that, right? But yeah, this is a 4-drop. So we have another 4-drop here, the Sarah Paragon. Now that's something completely different. So Yeah, you can return a card from your graveyard or cast a permanent spell with a mana value of 3 or less from your graveyard. If you do, it gains when this permanent is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, exile it, and you get 2 life. It's an okay card. You can do stuff with that, but of course there's probably going to be some shenanigans. But I don't really see this coming into play standard play a lot because it's maybe too slow. I don't know. Yeah, land or cast a permanent spell. Well, if you got a lot of small creatures like weenie whites or something. But yeah, I just want to look at this card because this card, okay, Karn Silex. It enters the battlefield tap, but there's a lot of ways around that to make them untapped. Let's be honest, there's a lot of stuff that untaps artifacts. By the way, Teferi does that. You can untap an artifact with it, so players can't gain life or cast spells. Or can't gain life to cast spells. No, I gotta read it correctly. Players can't pay life to cast spells or to activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. We got some destruction spells that pay 2 life. That's not gonna work. And the extra thing is exile Karn Silex, destroy each non-land permanent with mana value X or less. Now, most permanents in this game, in standard, are not more than 5 mana. So, let's just say you drop this on 3. So that may be turn 2, turn 3, maybe. You know, you can just put it on the battlefield. Next round, it untaps. And you just wait. And activate it only as a sorcery. That's true. But once you get in that pinch with a big Boros deck and they're hitting you really hard, you can probably just exile everything with 4 mana. You know, so pay 4, tap it, exile it, goodbye, creatures, and good luck. And then you probably have some mana over, or mana left. I mean, to put a blocker down, so the next creature that comes down with a Boros deck or a red deck, you can block it. And maybe you have another one of these in your hand. Who knows? I mean, you don't know what you have in your hand, but this will see play. This will definitely see some play. I'm sure of it. I mean, it's a good card, and it's also a threatening card. Just put it there on the battlefield, have people play out their stuff, and they're like, yeah, maybe I should wait. Maybe I should wait with playing this or that card. And yeah, so who knows? Okay, but also another one that is really, well, I think is really cool is that they put in another kind of a lotus, a timeless lotus. It enters the battlefield tap, but once again, you can untap it with like a Teferi or some other, I don't know, with a Cloud Key or artifact or whatever artifact you have to untap it. Hall Monitor, I think it's called. I mean, that's of course more in Commander, but you can just untap it, and then you have 5 mana. Yeah. And you can play another Hull Monitor. Oh, wait, no, it's not standard, so you only have 1. You can return it to your hand for, 1 blue mana, and then, just tap it again, and I don't know, blink stuff. You can pull off a ton of shenanigans here, but I'm just spitballing in my head. I shouldn't, because I'm already building a deck in my head, which is not good. I shouldn't do that. So, yeah, and then we got Karn. Karn here, It's just a planeswalker. I mean, it's an okay planeswalker, and maybe you guys can read the text. It has a lot of text. So, create a tapped Power Stone token. It's an artifact, and you can tap it for 1 colorless mana. This mana can't be spent to cast a non-artifact spell. So this is really meant for artifacts. Then you got a -1. By the way, don't forget, these tokens, they count as an artifact. So if you have in a commander deck, like, what's that monkey called? That just counts up all the artifacts. Yeah, so you got to be careful with that, because that's going to generate a lot of tokens, a lot of treasures. Anyway, pay any amount of mana. That's a -1. Look at that. Many cards from the top of your library. Then put 1 of those cards in your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So yeah, you can pay like, what, 10 mana maybe with your power stones and everything. But no, they don't work, because it's not a non-artifact spell. It's an ability activated from a planeswalker. So I guess that doesn't work, I think. And the -7 is a tap and untap artifact you control. This emblem deals 1 damage to any target. Yeah, so every time you untap a artifact, you do 1 damage to any target. It could be good. I mean, if you untap at the beginning of your turn, does this then do all the damage? I don't know. It's any target, so maybe it'll see play. I don't know. I don't know about this one though. So yeah, these are all mythics, and I'm pretty sure that there's a rare somewhere in here that will do some weird stuff. You got a merfolk here. Merfolks, man, that is going back. The other elves you control get +1/+1. So there's a lot of +1/+1 stuff. Other goblins you control get +1/+1. So there is some tribal stuff going on. Goblins, elves, merfolk. You guys want to go to the next page? Now here, this card, the Zur Eternal Schemer, that is going to be a card that's going to be played a lot in Commander. It's a 3-drop, and it's flying. Enchantment creatures you control have Death Touch, Lifelink, and Hexproof. Enchantment creatures, which means gods. Think about it. The gods, okay? They have an indestructible Death Touch, Lifelink, Hexproof god, which with if you activate the ability here, maybe we can zoom in a little bit. Target non-aura enchantment you control, which are gods, by the way. If they have enough devotion, they'll become creatures. But this ability becomes a creature in addition to its other types, and has base power and base toughness equal to its mana value. So it becomes a creature even though it should not be. Do you see what's going on? If you got 4 or 5 gods out, and you have at least 4 mana and some 4 other random mana, you can make them all creatures. And if they've been there for 1 turn, for instance, they won't have summoning sickness. And you could just smash them right there. Let's let that sink in for a second. Yeah. This is a good card. And there's another one. Let's see if we can find it. Here's the ping lands. Every time you tap it for a color, then you get pinged. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Jorah. That's the one I was looking for. Now, have this one sink in for a second as well. Okay? Put 2 ingenuity counters on Jorah, Ageless Innovator, and then you would put an artifact card with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield. Okay? So every time you tap it, you put 2 counters on it. And then you can put an artifact card onto the battlefield with the mana value X or less. So the first time you tap it, yeah, you see it, 2 mana. Then the next one, 4. Then the next one, 6. Imagine having something that will untap Jorah every time you do that. You could have so many cards, so many card draw, such a big advantage every time you do this. Now, let's not forget that this card is only 2 mana to cast. So on turn 2, you can have this on the battlefield. On turn 3, you're starting to activate this ability. Don't attack with it. There's no need for it. You're going to have a ton of artifacts on the battlefield. And if you can untap it, you can do it more often. So before you know it, you're going to have like a Blightsteel Colossus for 12 mana on the battlefield. Because it's an artifact. Do you see where this is going? I do. It's going to be a big one. Anyway, I'll just stop with this card. I hope you guys enjoy stuff like this. I mean, I'm not really used to doing this. I don't really talk about it a lot. I do talk about it when I'm opening boxes, but yeah, this is just one of those things that I think is good to do. And you guys have to realize these are the sets that we're going to be playing with this next year. There's more coming, but for now, we're going to have to do it with these sets. So Midnight Hunt and Crimson Vow are going to be important. Do not forget that. And yeah, let's see what this Dominaria United set is going to bring us. What other cards? But yeah, I want to keep it at this. You guys have a good one. And hopefully I'll catch you guys on the next one. And if you like this, just leave a thumbs up and a comment. Tell me what cards you're looking forward to in Dominaria and what combos, because I'm really interested in that. All right, don't forget 1,000 subscribers, booster box free, you know. You're going to win, you know. Love you guys. Catch you on the next one.